Hey guys. Just a little bit of food for thought today, and might come across a little rough, um, maybe a little insensitive. However, sometimes the truth is just what it is. And for those of you who do not know, there's only a handful that do. I have decided to start training for a weightlifting competition. Now, yes, I am 43 years old. Um, it's not supposed to be able to be the normal. It's not supposed to be able to be done. Um, but I really don't care what the supposed tos are. And I don't care if it's supported or not supported. I don't care if it's agreed upon or disagreed upon. It's what I choose to do. And I just wanted to share this because I know that there are so many women out there who maybe you're between 35 and 55 and you're thinking, man, I had all these dreams and aspirations when I was a teenager, or when I was in high school, or when I was in college, or when I first got married, and I have kids now, and I have a job, and I have all these responsibilities, and everybody's so busy, and everybody demands my time, and everybody needs me, and it's so selfish to focus on me. It's so selfish to focus on my wants and my desires. I'll do it when the kids move out, or I'll do it when I have more time. Do you really have more time? How long have you been telling yourself that? You don't ever get more time. I mean, there's 24 hours in a day. There's 24 hours in a day when we're 10. There's 24 hours in a day when we're 20. There's 24 hours in a day when we're 30. And every second of every minute of every day, we are dying. That's just the reality of it. We are born, and in the second that we are born, we are progressing towards death. Why is that not a motivating factor? It's like, I have time, and then before you know it, you have no more time. You have no more time. What are you going to do? We can sit around and we can complain, and we can wish, and we can hope, and we can dream, and we can read that book, we can watch that video, we can lay there and write it all out, write the story of what we wish was our life. Aren't you tired of wishing? Aren't you tired of wanting but not really wanting? Because there's a difference between wanting something and having to have something. If you have to have something, you get it. If you have to have that degree, you go for that degree. If you have to have that home, then you save longer and you work harder for that home. If you have to have that outfit or that look, you work to have that outfit and that look. What are you waiting for? It's not going to come by itself. No one's going to show up at your door and, hey, come with me. I've got that job for you. Or come on, let me take you to the gym. Hey, come here. I want to teach you how to coach, since I know you love coaching your kids. No one's going to do that for you. No one's going to show up at your door. Nobody gives a shit what you want. Nobody. If everybody gave a shit what you want, don't you think you would have everything that you wanted up to this point? Not really. You don't have what you want because nobody else cares. You have to care. You have to care enough to get up when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when maybe you don't feel well, maybe the pressure of the day is so much, those days where you feel like, oh, it's just, get it out of my head. Those days, you got to just push through that anxiety, that depression. I know about anxiety. You got to push through that. You can't let those things which paralyze everybody else paralyze you. Because then you are just like everybody else. And maybe some of us, that's okay. Maybe we don't mind being like everybody else. And that's okay. If that's what makes you happy is being like everybody else, then hey, If that's what makes you happy, then that's fine. But if that's not what makes you happy, if that's not enough to get you out of bed in the morning, if that's not enough to make you shower every day, if that's not enough to make you get out there and meet new people and push yourself a little harder and push yourself a little further, then you've got to do something about it. Nobody's going to do it for you. Only you can. You know, I was told many a times I wasn't going to live to be very long or very old. Not at all. I'm supposed to have a heart attack. I'm supposed to have this, the typical, you can't change, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. And I was so tired of hearing everybody else tell me what my future was going to be. But I believed it. I believed it because I've been told my whole entire life. Maybe not always through words, but a lot through actions of who I was, or who I was gonna be, or how I wasn't pretty enough, or second place wasn't good enough. And if you weren't in first place, then you might as well have just lost. And instead of taking that and using that as a way to motivate me or to drive me, I let it bog me down. Oh my gosh, I am not good enough. My mother, emotionally unavailable, my father leaving, multiple stepdads in and out. No one can commit. It must be me. It must be me. In middle school, I used to ask my parents to drop me off a couple blocks away because I was so embarrassed to be seen in the family car. Now, mind you, we had a Mustang, which of course to any teenage girl, boy, Mustang's a cool car. And I would ask them to drop me off in the front on those days. But those days were very far and few between. See, it mattered so much to me what everybody else thought. And what they thought of me affected me greatly. 7th grade, walking into the school, actually the school grounds. And there was a gym, and it had steps on the outside that went into the gym. And a lot of kids used to hang out there. And they were all sitting out there, and I walked past them, and I felt something hit me. It wasn't heavy, just kind of on my arm. And I wondered, what is that? You look around, something hits you, you look around, so I look around and I don't see anything, but then I felt another and another and another and another. And they just kept coming faster and more. And I heard chuckles and I heard laughing, and I turned and I looked, and there was a group of kids throwing pennies at me, saying a penny for the poor, a penny for the poor. Wow. That went on to dictate my life for the next 35 years. I was comfortable being poor. I was comfortable with the lights getting shut off. I was comfortable with the water getting shut off. I was comfortable with having to go to pantries and ask for food. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with you if that has happened in your life. But what is wrong is becoming comfortable with it. Because whatever you become comfortable with physically, you become very uncomfortable with mentally. And if you don't do something about it, just like your muscles will atrophy if you don't use them, so will your mind. And you'll just sink into this deep, dark place. And you start looking at your kids and you want better for them, but you feel like you haven't shown them better. Like, have I really shown them better? Have they seen determination in me? Have they seen sweat and blood and tears in me? Most of us have kids that have seen our tears, especially as moms. I mean, how many times have you went and cried in your room or in your bathroom, just to have a little one knock on the door? Mommy. It happens. Nobody owes you anything. You have to understand that. You might feel like they owe you something. Oh, you might feel like your mom owes you this, or your father owes you this, or your aunt owes you this, or your cousin, or your brother, or your boss, or your friend, or your spouse, or your kids. But nobody owes you anything. You know who does owe you something? Yourself. Because if you sit around waiting for people to come along and give you what you feel like they owe you, you are going to die with your hand out. You're going to die with your heart out, waiting. Like I said, folks, every second of every minute of every day, we are dying. I've been in the gym for the past 4 months, pushing and pushing and pushing. And some days are better than others. And some days I feel like I had a great workout, and other days I feel like I had a shit workout. Some days I'm there for an hour and a half. Sometimes I'm barely able to push 30. But I know that I gave it my all. And if I'm not satisfied with what I gave, then by God, let me go take that break. Go finish up what I've got to finish up. Let me go take care of what might be mentally blocking me, what might be physically blocking me, and let me hit it later again that day. It's like that with anything. It's like that with everything. You can't focus at work. You can't get through that last project, or you can't get through, that last reconciliation, and you're stuck in it. Take that break. Walk. Get outside. Smell the air. Do something. Do anything. It's better than doing nothing. Go back in. You owe it to yourself. Yeah, you probably, in a way, you owe it to your boss. He's paying you to be productive, and he's paying you to complete this task, or she's paying you to complete that task. So you do owe it to them. But more importantly, you owe it to yourself. I mean, think of how great it always feels when you figure something out that you've been working on for a long time, or you find something that you've been looking for such a long time, or you complete something that you've been trying to complete for like a really long time. Think of that feeling that you get inside of you when you finally do it. Doesn't mean you have to leave your husband, not be around your kids. It doesn't mean that you have to quit your job, or even decrease the hours of your job. It just means that instead of sitting, move. Instead of standing, walk. Instead of walking, jog. Instead of jogging, run. Instead of running, sprint. Always move one step further than what you normally do. Guys, time is time. We don't get more of it. All this time that we've been sitting there saying that we'll do it later. We'll do it when the kids leave. We'll do it when they move out. We'll do it when I have a better job. We'll do it when we move. We'll do it. Why? You think you're really guaranteed tomorrow? You aren't guaranteed shit. Look at your life. You thought you would be here. More than likely, if you're like me, you're not there. And you can sit here and you can blame every person that you ever came in contact with and every circumstance that you have ever been through. But the reality of it is the only person that you can blame is yourself. So therefore, the only person that can change it is you. So with that being said, I'm going to start videotaping, vlogging all of my workouts, my days. You're going to see me at my worst. You're going to see me at my best. You're going to see me sweat. You're going to see me cry. You're going to see me in pain. You're going to have the option to follow this, to see what it's like for a normal person. I'm not already a bodybuilder. Look at me. I'm not. I am normal. I'm the standard normal 43-year-old woman, just trying to change for me. I want to for me, I just want to know that I can do something that I have never done, that society says most people my age don't do. And in that, give my kids something to look up to. See you soon.